Hi everyone, and welcome to the final round of the 140th edition anniversary, better said, 140th anniversary of the New Jersey State Chess Federation. For this tournament, they decided to organize a 10-player Grandmasters round robin tournament that took place from Wednesday, October 22nd until today, October 26th, one round on Wednesday and then two rounds every single day. It was a pleasure being here, bringing you the action, discussing the games, coming up with hopefully some fun tactical ideas, some interesting end games, and of course, um, just simply following the event. There was so much to learn from me, and hopefully for you guys as well. And a big thank you to New Jersey State Chess Federation for organizing, for putting this tournament together, for having me cover it. Particularly, um, it's um, it's not often that we see all Grandmaster tournaments in the United States. There are a few, but not as many. So big thank you to Chief TD, Edward Steven, the organizers, Mr. Anand Mishra, who's also the president of the New Jersey State Chess Federation, Mr. Aaron Kiedes, and then everyone from the team who's been working behind the scenes with DGT specifically. Like I've been, I've been talking to two different people. Nick and Alessandro. Didn't really meet them in person, but they've been behind the scenes making sure that the DGTs, at least letting me know what's going on with the DGT so I don't stress or stay too long if it wasn't necessary. So anyways, big thank you, and of course TDs and everyone working the event. It's not easy to put something like this together. Lastly, to the players. The tournament is not over yet, but I always get ready with the thank yous at first, to make sure at the end it just comes naturally. But anyways, without further ado, the final round has started about 20 something minutes ago. So it's about time for us to get into the games and catch up. We actually have a result already. The game between Grandmasters, Max Telugi and Oliver Barbosa has finished in a draw. They played Queen's Gambit accepted, and then follows through with this line that Grandmaster Barbosa has played, if I'm not mistaken, against Lenderman. And anyways, it is in this position that Black offered a draw. Grandmaster Telugi is finishing second likely in the tournament, I believe. I need to double check the standings, but I believe that's where we are at the moment. So with a draw, he's now basically sharing first place, but it depends what Grandmaster Lenderman is doing. So we have Grandmaster Lenderman being first right now with 6 points, and he was followed by Grandmaster Delugi with 5.5, who is now 6. Then Grandmasters Andrew Tang, Turabek, Amrakulov were also we're following up with 5 points. Grandmaster Oliver Barbosa has just drawn, so he's on 5 points. And then we have two players with 4 points, Grandmasters Mark Paragua and Alexander Strapunsky, Mackenzie Molnar with 3.5, and John Fedorovich with 2, and Grandmaster Michael Rode with half a point. So this is the final round. It's likely, I mean, now with the draw, that Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman is going to win the tournament, but we'll have to see. At this game, the players decided to take an early draw. Ooh, okay. So I didn't even see that. So in this game between Grandmaster Mac Molnar and Michael Rode, we had an Evans Gambit. I think Mac Molnar has played this before. Maybe I don't know if he's played it as much being a Grandmaster, but I know he's played it before. I've seen him. It's a sharp opening, and I'm actually curious how how black will respond to this. I have a student who plays this all the time, so I'm definitely gonna be on the look for this line to make sure um I know how to further teach it to my students. That's how it works. As a coach, you always learn too. It's not just your students. You also have to spend the time to improve. All right, so we got to draw. I am on board too as well. Grandmaster Lenderman has taken a draw. They played the King's Indian with G3, and okay, repeated with this line. Okay, makes sense. Congratulations, heartfelt congratulations to Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman for winning this event. I mean, it's that's it for him. I mean, nobody can catch him. 6.5. Second place right now is Grandmaster Max Telugi, but he might be sharing that place with someone. And then third place right now, Grandmaster Durabek Kamrakulov. But okay, this part can change towards the end, but anyways, just to be the first to congratulate Grandmaster Lenderman. He had a brilliant victory in the morning against Grandmaster Alexander Sierpunsky. If you weren't here, definitely check out the VOD of that stream, and that game was something you don't want to miss. Like it was really he was really outplaying his opponent. So anyways, you might want to check it out. So that leaves us with 3 games remaining. This one between Mark Paragua and Alexander Sierpunsky. What's interesting is, like, I'm just curious if any of the other games will finish in a draw, because, like, normally, if you think about it, if this were an open tournament and they were playing for prizes, then obviously we might see potentially more fights depending. But this is a close tournament, but everyone is still fighting for prestige. Their students might be watching, maybe their rating as well. So and many of these grandmasters might not play as much, so it's always fun, I believe, to play when you haven't played in a while. Like, you don't want to take draws. But who am I to say? I do not know fully the way they decide. So we'll have to wait and see. So here we have a Slav, Meran, I would call this, or Semislav. The bishop is interestingly placed on e7 as opposed to usually being placed on d6. The good thing about black's position on how it was played is the fact that the light square bishops are gone, which can only benefit black here, but white does still have the ability to play e4, which might give them, a tiny bit of an edge, but it's still early to say. But it seems that based on the fastness with which they played so far, Grandmaster Paragua was maybe better prepared. Normal, I don't know if I answered you, but anyways, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And all of you who are here, if you haven't followed, I'd appreciate a follow. All right, so what do we have here? We had a Queen's Gambit declined. Knight f3, okay. Not the most popular, but it's called 3 knights. Still popular, but not as much as the bishop g5 lines. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go that fast. Bishop b7, castle, knight d7. Queen e2, very natural development, c5. Black is trying to break open the center. First equalize, and then we'll see. Takes, bishop e7, queen takes e7. And now we think. Jaren. Get ready for a massacre. Wow. There's a big word to use out there, man. I know how much you've been rooting for Mac. But yeah, I did notice that. I didn't want to say anything because I'm the commentator. I need to be as nice as I can. But yes, it's been a very tough tournament for Grandmaster Michael Rode, and I hope he's not gonna give up regardless. He's had a very long and impressive career, and he knows more than anyone, I think. Sometimes you have a bad tournament, but you come back from it. It's just the way it goes in chess. We don't give up. We do not give up. Bishop a6. So, you're a huge fan of me or of Andrew Tang or Fed or Mac? Andrew Tate. Ah, okay. Andrew Tate. Got it. Andrew Tate is not playing chess right now. But okay. Hi Yara, welcome. How are you doing? Who's your favorite GM? Andrew or John? Yeah, he's not that bad. His dad was a very strong international master, international master Emory Tate. He's been a great tactician, and I actually have a YouTube video about his game. And I think it was Andrew who actually wrote me. He's like, "Oh, I'm impressed. Thanks for doing that for my dad." But that's all the connection I have with him. No other connection, nor do I want any. So we have Andrew Tang playing here. Different Andrew. He's known for being the Penguin GM. If you've watched any fast blitz bullet games, that would be him. Very cool. Also very nice person as well. Had the pleasure to interview him. Very nice. Oh, thanks, Yara. Appreciate it. How are you doing? Hope I'll be streaming more these days. Recovering still from some kind of flu that I got, but planning to be back weekly. I don't know if daily. I don't want to say it again because I always say it doesn't happen. But for those of you who are here, be sure to check out US Chess Federation's Twitch channel too, because that's where I'll be doing some commentary for the next tournament. At least that's all I have planned for now. It will be the very likely the US Women's Senior Championships, which will take place in about 2 weeks, and K through 12 grade championships in December. As for my channel, you'll be seeing more of me playing probably and training. Knight takes c3, b takes c3, and now maybe bishop takes a6. I mean, this kind of predicts a potential draw. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, no, there was no move. But I mean, this is happening. e4. Okay. I feel like Grandmaster Paragua is going for some kind of complications. It's not too much here without the light square bishop, but white can certainly enjoy a slightly better position with the two pawns in the center once these get traded. And to the fan favorite Grandmaster Mac Molnar, definitely waiting here for queen f6 or queen e7. One of those moves I think has to be played to cover f7. I don't know which one will be Grandmaster Rode's choice. I hope he has looked over this, because playing against the Evans without actually looking at anything is slightly unpleasant, I think. I think if you know what to do, like if you know how you're gonna develop your pieces, you should be chilling. Like Queen E7 castle, and then I think it's Knight F6. I've played this move once. Um, White will recapture, and then it's gonna get messy a bit, but you can do this, and I don't know if it's D6 or Knight D6. I think it's D6. I could be wrong, but I guess we'll see. Knight takes E4. Let's go. Okay, so here, typically we see Knight F6. Black is trading that knight to bring in the new one into the game. And normally, you can wait with this move actually when there's still bishops on the board, because you're not in a huge rush to chase this queen away. But actually, you can also play it, and then I mean, I just feel weird with black not having the bishop in c8, because normally they do. So just having played it in this fashion to get the bishop traded, it must feel pretty good. Now, for those of you who don't know, depending on which move order you play this, black doesn't always get bishop f5, or if they do, there's this tricky idea. So you play knight c3 there, and if you play e3 in this position, it has a it has a better reputation for black to place the bishop in f5 because of this takes and queen b3, and suddenly you panic. You see two pawns being hanging, and you're saying, oh my god, I'm gonna lose. But there are two things that black can do that's actually not that terrible. First things first, knight c6 is not that bad. So you're giving up this pawn, but the idea is that actually now you go back, and even if white did take a pawn, the fact that that pawn is gone actually helps black get quite a bit of initiative here. And I've actually seen people after the queen is being moved, queen d1, queen c2 somewhere, to continue this in an initiative fashion, right? With e5, attacking the center. And trust me, I've tried to play this once with white, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Second thing that one can do after queen b3, because I remember I was playing this with white when I was growing up, and no, I was comfortable here with white. Well, the funny thing is black can actually go back bishop c8, and yes, it is a waste of time, bishop f5, bishop c8, but guess what? After the development, black can play e6. Yeah, they locked in the bishop, but guess what? So did you. When you play the move e3, you've blocked your own bishop, and actually, because of that, the position is not as terrible for black as one may seem, although they have wasted a bit of time going back and forth. But it's not easy for white to get e4 in, and eventually these positions can get to be quite equal. I've played this against an international master. I thought, oh my god, this guy doesn't know how to play. I remember I was young. I was like 14. I was like, this guy doesn't know. How did he even become an international master? And then with time, I realized that this line doesn't lead to that much advantage as I initially thought. So of course it's still played, and yeah, we can get a bit of like initiative here with knight f3, e6, maybe knight e5, maybe bishop b5, knight c6. knight e5, putting pressure, but then black plays bishop d7, and I'm telling you, we are not getting a penny out of this. It is quite balanced. Yeah, the bishop in c1 is sad indeed. Okay, there's some other lines you can play, and of course, you know, you don't need to taking gives black a bit of space, specifically that c6 square for the knight. So knight f3, and now trade straight, e6 castle, and this position, I would say their current position is about equal. Black chose to play queen a5. Okay, that can work too. I mean, the queen can switch over to the other side. Knight f6 can be played anytime, so maybe black is trying to be more flexible, keeping options alive like bishop f6, or maybe trying to support c5. They have to be mindful because, you know, with the pawn here, we can also go d5. Okay, so balanced. Okay, trades, and a4 was played. Okay. Well, Andrew is doing better with the time, and that's one thing. We gotta move queen f6. Okay, we gotta move. But this is like, this is hurting me so much. Grandmaster Rose spending half an hour to play queen f6. Why? Why do you do that? Okay, at least Mac is thinking now. It's taking a bit of time, not too much. Like, castle, bishop b2. What shall we choose? Probably castle, I'd say, but what would you guys choose? Castle or bishop b2? Castle, me too. I would definitely go for castle. What do you mean DGT, please? Oh, yeah, oh yeah, because you're sucking at fun, yeah. It's gonna get fixed. It's gonna get fixed. Evan's Gambit looks like all games have lost as black. So, you saying what? I always lose against the Evans. Yeah, Evans is a tricky kind of gambit. I will give you that. I admit. Um, okay. Castle was played. Castle was fixed. Yeah, there's a lot of games by Kasparov, I guess. The Trojan, I'm just looking now here. Mac has played a few times at least. He has a lot of games in the Leech's database. So the question is, what do we do here? Because now with Queen f6, you've developed the queen relatively active, and you can utilize the e7 square for the knight. You can also go, of course, bishop d6, or you can take, or you can play d3 if you want. Lots of different ideas for black. I mean, I would probably go knight e7, but that is me. I know what you guys want to play here with black to get to some position. Hi, Bogdan. Yeah, there's a plan to stream more regularly. I mean, when I travel, it's a bit harder for me to keep up. I know some streamers are fully dedicated, but I think that's they're used to it. I'm not so used to it yet. Maybe I will be one day. Are we gonna see some d5 getting prepped, like bishop c3? Or is he gonna try to play b4, a4, b5? Actually, yeah, b4, a4, rook a3. Switching over. Switching over. Actually, that would be a nice approach. Very nice approach. What is Andrew doing with the rook in b8? I'm actually a bit surprised. I would expect the rook maybe in d8, but in b8, is he getting ready for... I wonder if he wants to go to bishop a8. But then why did he put the rook on b8? Ah, maybe he wants to meet... he wants this pawn to be protected in case of an a5? Potentially, maybe. I'm having trouble understanding, but... Okay. Also, I'm not sure what the rook is doing in c1, not d1. Because if he wants d4, he can do it anytime. I mean, he's hoping that black's gonna take in d4. Or maybe he just didn't want to put it in d1 to avoid bishop b3 with tempo. That could be a thing. Nobody has any thoughts. For me, I'm not 100% sure, guys. What's the rook doing in c1? I wish we could interview these players and just be like, hey, why'd you play that? What does Tang want to do with the knight here? I don't know. I thought he played rook b8 to go bishop a8. The knight there is just protecting at this point. Like, if you take, the knight can take back, and you can also support e5. The knight can go to f6 anytime. For the moment, it's not in a rush to move. Also, the knight controls the e5 square, so you can't go knight e5. So that's kind of helpful, a bit. Nothing happened here, and nothing happened here either. I just hope Grandmaster Road is not gonna... Okay. So rook d8, okay. Not bishop a8. Okay, he's putting the pieces on dark squares since he has a light square bishop left, but that's about all I can say. Okay, so let's say we're playing this position and we're trying to improve. We can't go knight e5. Would we consider going knight d2? To try to further advance the center. I mean, obviously we could go e4 directly and just weaken this. I just don't understand why he would put the rook here if he wanted to do that. I mean, I think Andrew wants to play for a win. Maybe you got maybe rook d8 can also allow that knight to get to another square. Though, as soon as the knight moves, I'm sure white's gonna go knight e5. It's like that's just a sure thing. You know what? We also can. Okay, do we want to get aggressive? No, we don't want to get aggressive. But if we did, should we go G pawn? Should we start marching the G pawn? G5, G4, let's go. You know, it worked for black in the other game between Grandmaster Barbosa and Andrew. Almost like it almost had to have to go in Grandmaster Barbosa's favor, you know. Just a thought. Just a thought. I wonder if he offered to draw. Because 10 minutes thinking in this position. You can just go, you know, b4, a4, b5, a5, a6. That's a good plan. Okay, b4 directly, maybe a5. Oh no, a5 I just take, so you can't do 5. And just b4, let's go. Let's go for the attack. h3. Never mind, no attack. h3 is a nice prophylactic idea. Luft, maybe g4 at some point. Sure, I'll take it. I'll take it. You don't like h3, Jake? Okay. It's fine, but before looks a bit more fun. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have more space. Like, you know, the board is shared in 2 equal parts. Or 4 equal parts if you want to count, you know, white side and black side. Just kidding. But no, I mean, we do have, technically, right, 4 versus 3 on that side of the board, so that's where you usually want to play. Now, it makes more sense and it makes things more natural when white has the bishop pair, because you know, usually if there's a light square bishop, then we do go b4, b5 and opening up the bishop. But here, of course, we can't do that, so I don't know. Still no moves here. That's a bit scary. Wouldn't you guys say so? Oh, like I guess, long time no see. How are you doing? Okay, now for black. What is it that we're gonna do for black? Considering that I wanted to play b4, maybe black should play a5, you know, just to stop me. Yeah, I was just saying that. I was just saying that. Yeah. I was just saying that. I mean, I think that would work. Can I play b3? If I play a3, you definitely can do this. If I play b3, I'm just kind of worried that this is an option. And then I don't get a3, b4 anymore. If I were black, I would consider it. The only thing is that, you know, when you play a5, you have to be mindful that that is a long-term weakness. So whenever this rook is gonna come on the d file, you know, you have to be mindful not to lose the pawn. Obviously, right now the queen is covering it, but if this rook needs to move, then you can't hold on to the pawn there. So maybe even this I've seen people doing, like not being worried about bishop b4, just locking it in, and then b3 and stuff. And then, you know, this is gonna be a long-term weakness for black. That's the only that's the only issue that we're dealing with here if we play a5. By itself is not a mistake, but I think on the long run, there's going to be a long-term weakness that he might be able to take advantage of. So, yeah, I guess he didn't touch upon. He played rook d8. Rook f d8, okay. I guess b4 is still an option, right? b4 is still an option. Black needs to centralize his rooks and play c5 at some point, I agree, or e5. That's just as hard indeed. Just as hard indeed. I mean, I like a4 actually, now that I'm saying it. Maybe we start with a4 instead of b4. Because if he plays a5, that's what we want. Like, we're happy with that, no? Wait, if b4 is sack b5, you sack c6. I'm not sure that's what you want to do, normal. Plant a knight in d5, but you're giving up a pawn for free. You don't want to give up. What's the point? Like, no. No. I agree with one of those moves to break through, but no. One of those moves is gonna happen. Eventually. I don't know when and where or how, but it will eventually happen. I really think this is... Might want to include knight of 6 first. Which moment after rook d8 b4? Well... I guess you could try that. Maybe go a4. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting this position where we both have an isolated pawn, but I think black's is weaker than white's. I know queen takes or maybe rook c1 takes with the rook is definitely going well for white. Bishop c3 is quite a typical placement of the bishop in these kinds of positions, but yeah. I don't know, black can maybe play rook c8 and try c5 here. Or maybe bishop f6 first. Well, he will have to be mindful about the pawn in b7. That's not going to be that easy to deal with. Right? I would play here. Maybe queen g6. Just trade that queen, you know? It's kind of annoying. Just get rid of the queen first, because of course, like I said, the queen is putting pressure. If you want to try to play c5 or e5, you need to get rid of this queen first. All right, e4 at last, bishop a8. Okay, I anticipated that was the retreat for the bishop, not bishop e7. Knight f6 takes... Ah. So he didn't want to take back like that. He wanted to take back with the bishop. This is actually quite interesting. And bishop takes e4. So we take here. And we have no discovered attack. Because here he can just take or take. Huh. Interesting. Okay, this just trades off a bunch of pieces. So what's actually the point if... It has to be queen takes a7. I mean, there's rook a8 too, but I don't think he would go to queen rook a8. Bishop d3. Unless queen b7, but I don't know. Takes. And try to play this position. Seems still equal also, you know. Not much is happening here. Lots of trades. Alright, not more happened here. And finally we got a move from black. No, but this is tough. I cannot imagine how tough this must be. Yeah, psychologically it's been tough for Grandmaster Road. I mean, he spent an hour until move 8. Must have not been ready for Mackenzie's Evans Gambit or something, because like, come on, it's just way too much. It's totally unexpected, you know, totally. Okay, so we go takes, right? Bishop b6. And is this an option is the question. This can be dangerous. e5. Okay, so he took. Black cannot afford to spend any more time. He has to just play faster. I mean, it's just tough. Any suggestions? Other suggestions besides bishop b6 or something? Knight g7. But I think here you have to be more wondering about this, and maybe d5, knight e5. You just need to be careful not to lose this, you know, like knight goes away and then there'll be some check bishop. I would be worried if I were black here not to lose like that. So rook d3, rook d1. I guess if he's not gonna go for b4, he has to go for this. This is the only other chance for white to try to create something if you're trying to play for a win. So all of I mean, these two positions are definitely quite balanced, and then this one is just tough to see Grandmaster Road spending so much time. I mean, maybe he will just play faster eventually, but you mean in this Evans Gambit, Jake? Yeah, Evans Gambit is a bit tricky if you don't know how to play. But yeah, normally knight g7 is played. Or here I think it's bishop b6. Bishop b6, pressure. And then if you go e5 or something, they take, and maybe queen g6, knight e7, castle. So black can try to hold on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break as well. It's been about an hour. So we have 3 games that we're on the look for. I didn't put I should have put the command. So you guys can check out the players. You can catch up with the standings on their official website. You can catch up with the games as well. And it looks like bishop d7 was actually played, but that doesn't seem very okay. He set it up some kind of trap. If you take rook b8, queen a6, rook b6 traps the queen. Okay, all right, we're not gonna fall for that. Sorry, I pressed something. So after bishop d7, we're not gonna take in b6. We're gonna just develop or something. Bishop g5, queen g6, and I think we can still go d5, knight e5, and maybe now we can take first and then take. This is not looking good. I believe black must have just might have just messed up. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this game. I'll take a short break, and we'll see you back in about 10-15 minutes, and hopefully with more rounds. Just be sure to check out the games there too. Maybe something else is happening in the other games, but at the moment it looks like this is trading a lot of pieces. This one is still quite balanced, but yeah. So all right guys, we'll be seeing you in just a little bit. Hey everyone, welcome back. Looks like we have had a few changes, not that many, but some. Like for example, this one, black is up a pawn, and I definitely want to see how that happened because I thought this was just gonna lead to oh, Fed decided to just give up the pawn, huh? I thought queen takes f3 and then the queen was gonna move somewhere and then I don't know, like maybe g3 or something. But okay, this is new. This is definitely new. Maybe he would still lose the pawn. I mean, what if I go rook d1? So you can't take it. I guess maybe he can move the queen different some other place. But like maybe here. But then maybe I can take. I'm a bit puzzled by the decision. I mean, yeah, he gets his two rooks active, but is it really? I guess it might be enough. But if I bring my knight to d6, I'm gonna cover f7, and then I'm gonna be able to free up my. Okay, I guess he didn't want to go there for some reason. Maybe rook c6, and if you go there, rook d7, but then knight f5. I don't know. Okay. I mean, likely this should be a draw because it's bishop versus knight and stuff, but I guess we'll see. This remains to be seen. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so Grandmaster Veragua did go for my idea with a4, a5. I was thinking that and trying to get a bit of, you know, some extra advantage on the queen side. It seems like the thing to go. Just push this pawn forward and see where it leads you in a way, you know. And here knight e7. So when we left off, bishop d7 was played, and looks like Mac played knight c3, which is a very natural, you know, response to develop the knight. Bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, knight g7. But like with every move, black is spending quite a lot of time thinking, and 19 minutes to do like 29 moves to get to move 40. It seems tough. I think bishop g5, queen g6, and now let's see how we can get to the queen. Maybe rook b1. Maybe we're not going to the queen. We're just like putting pressure here. We're only down a pawn at this point. Sometimes in the events you end up possibly also being down two pawns, you know? So maybe rook b1. f3. Considering time management, I think this is a tough one, but so is this. Grandmaster John Fedorovich also spent quite a lot of time. Might have been around there when he actually No, like around earlier. He's gotten lower in time. Should we go rook e1 check, but then king f2? I don't think it's necessarily helping much. I don't think he can go here. I'm trying to figure out if this is an option. Maybe that's why he played. Ah. Oh, I missed that. So was knight e8 allowing bishop e6? No. So I was right. I didn't say anything silly. I totally missed that this was an option, but knight e8 attacks and protects g7, so you don't have the sacrifice. Okay. And what about this? This I think we just take. It's a free piece. Okay, so f3. So we need to keep the rook on the e file, or else bishop takes, and then something like that could be a bit unpleasant, potentially leading to something. A6 is interesting. I wonder if we should do this. Of course, support it with rook b1 or this rook. He couldn't have allowed a6. If he had allowed a6, that would have been bad. That would have been pretty bad. Or we could try to be fancy, but I mean, that's too slow. Or one more idea would be rook a3, rook b3. Oh, rook d3, okay. Yeah, I was thinking this earlier, if you guys remember. Doubling up on the d file and just having that option. And I did suggest queen g6 as a nice way of black equalizing in that position. Yeah. d5 was played. Bishop g5 and d5. Where's the knight going? So you can go knight, obviously not b8. So you can go knight d8 or knight e5. If you go knight d8, I think e5, like, I had a student who didn't do this once, and now every time I see the Evans, I'm always on the look for this move. If I can play it, is devastating. No, I think this is devastating. And if knight e5, can we just take it? If you take, we take, I think. Oh, sorry, f6. Oops. Okay, we can take. I got the pawn back. And now material is equal. Now I just gotta figure out how to proceed putting pressure on black. No, this is looking really crushing already. Okay, so rook e3 was played here. All right, so black has made a luft, but where is he gonna place his rook? I guess this could work because, you know, any bishop move will allow the trading of a pair of rooks, which will make it easier. But I mean, this move h5, h4, h5, this gotta be helpful for black because this pawn is gonna be a target for black to attack. I'm thinking, you know? Oh, look at that, rook c3. Oh wait, was that played or am I just making? No, I'm making that up. But rook c3 is a nice placement, no? For the rook. And how do we get these rooks? Then I want to go knight e8. Oh, look at that. Yeah, okay, now it's actually played. Now we can go knight e8, knight d6 maybe, huh? And then trade some pieces. Black wants trades. The more the merrier. You know? The more we trade, the better it is. The better it is, the more we trade. It's trying to make some rhyme. Didn't really work. I know. Okay. Well, after the trade, can we really believe that White is playing for a win anymore? Probably knight takes, rook d1. Or maybe g3 first. To keep the knight restricted h4. But okay, e5 can be played. This is not really ideal. I don't like e5. Yeah, after knight takes black is more than okay. Oopsie, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, knight e5 was played. Okay, so now taking here bishop e7. So okay, this is your second option, queen takes g5, I guess. At least this way you're trying to hold on to the extra pawn. So now where do I move the knight? I could go back, but then I'm not gaining anything. Or I could try this. And maybe some f4, e5 again. Since black's king is in the center, we definitely want to try to find a way to take advantage of it. It's like a rule. It's like a rule. DE5 was played, so I guess he didn't want to take in G5. He must have not liked that idea that much. Okay, so he chose this position as opposed to the other one. We're liking this position for white, aren't we, guys? Do we go, what do we, what do we do? I think we should probably move the queen because this will come in with tempo, so maybe just go back here. Is that 100? Yeah, I would take white here too. I would take white too. I mean, no more material down, king in the center. We just need to figure out how we really combine everything together. I just saw after queen d4, maybe there's bishop h3, which could be annoying. So I'm taking it back a bit. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'm just thinking maybe we don't want to allow bishop h3. Maybe we can just go rook e1. Rook e1 covers in case you attack, you know, I can go back, and then bishop h3 can be met with bishop f1. Maybe. Potentially. Played. Rook f1 played. Okay. So this was my suggestion, right? 98, chase the rook away. We need to stay on the c file. Probably rook c6 not to allow knight d6. I mean, I think that just makes sense. If you go rook c5, knight d6, then this will be the end of it. So rook c6. Again, rook c8 also doesn't work, I believe, for the same reason knight here. And this endgame with rook still on the board should be giving black chances to win. So okay, so he's gonna go here to control d6. Now the question is, how do we progress? Now remember I told you about this pawn, so I'm thinking knight g7 f5 to try to get to this pawn. So I wonder what's okay. White will be able to go to h3, but that's okay. No cause for alarm. That maybe you can go rook c1 and try to mate him. You know, maybe we do get to win the h pawn. It's unpleasant. Rook c6 played. Rook c6 played. Let's see if we know what to expect now. Okay, knight g7. So the question is, can black win this? And how do you mean knight f5? Like if you do that to try to trade. Okay, checky first, king h3, and now I don't know if we trade. Like in a way, I wouldn't be opposed to trading and then bringing in the rook. But I'm just worried about maybe something like this and try to get the knight, and then I'm not gonna win the pawn anymore. Right, rook ad1 and it wasn't here that I was suggesting a5. Okay, so black played h5, g3. Okay, black can also double up on the file, right? And wait for you to come up with something. There's no real place to attack here for white, so this looks maybe like a one of those positions that's gonna be slowly improved by him. Okay, so rook e8, and now it's time to find a good spot for the queen. I was suggesting the square because, you know, it's just still central, defending stuff, keeping pressure in a7 so you don't do anything fancy, maintaining pressure of course there. But I don't know if there's some other squares that you guys see that might be looking good for white. Of course, you can also retreat to one of those squares. But I definitely think on this diagonal, I just like d4 seems the most central one. Seems like it would be helping. Okay. Played. Queen d4 played. Also, the nice thing is, like, if they ever consider, you know, running back to g8, we can also have potentially that check, though. Okay, maybe then queen d6. Okay, no check. No check. But we do want to start marching these pawns up. I think that would be nice. Bishop d5. Wow. Okay. Oh, he's trying to get it to e4. Very fancy. Oh, I didn't think of this. I was only thinking bishop b5. Oh, this tries to force the rook to be traded. If not, the bishop goes to e4. There it is. And at least now when the knight goes to f5, it's gonna be grabbed. You know it's gonna be grabbed. Okay, so this game could potentially be a draw. Unless black finds some other improvement mechanism that I don't see yet. But, you know, could be somehow, somewhere. Okay, not much has happened here. I don't really see. Hi, Cherry. Yeah, yeah. Mark Paragua is Megan's uncle. F6. I don't know how that helps. That just locks in the queen, which means the queen will not even cover d6 when that move will be possible. Should we go d6? Or maybe we can go rook b1. Rook b1 seems really annoying at this point. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not that annoying. d6, queen c5, bishop d5. There's so many ways here that at this point is really hard to choose. I was even thinking f4 to try to go e5, and then this bishop can retreat, right? And then d6. But I really want to play d6 because, you know, this got locked in. So, you know, I said rook b1. I don't even know why I said it. Maybe just d6. d6 seems to be just taking advantage of the weaknesses. Yeah, that would have looked nice. Okay. I was about to say, how come these guys have so much time? But yeah, I guess Grandmaster Paragua is taking more time trying to improve here, but there's not that much to go for because the only weakness that white can try to play against is this pawn in b7, but we can't really reach it. Unless somehow maybe we should try to bring in the knight. So with king f1, like, yeah, king e2. We go king e2, protecting the rook, and then this knight can try to come towards the c5 square to put some pressure potentially, but I just don't see much happening now. Like, it's still hard to say that um something will happen, of course, but I don't even know how you're gonna do that, because if you go knight d2, you lose this pawn. So like, so we need a different way. I mean, there's a route, but like it takes forever. Like, look at this. It's just too much. It's just too much to envision that was gonna happen. Black can also, of course, meanwhile. Maybe he cannot bring the king because of bishop e4 check. I mean, that's definitely something to be thinking about. But hey, I found an idea for black. Knight e7, knight f5. How about that? That way we know this knight's not going anywhere. So just keeping the tension. I mean, it's still, white has more space, but progressing is hard, you know? So we basically have no moves. If he does go knight e7, the knight will make it to f5. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing. Okay. So we haven't had, this was a brilliant move. I did not see it at all. This was a very nice move to bring the bishop in e4. That's the right place to be to restrict Blackstein from going to f5, because white just wants to take it. And at this point, I guess the only thing that black could have considered was this, but I don't think it works because we can take. So we have to always be very careful when there are two rooks on the 7th rank. You always have to be on the look for potential, you know, perpetual checks. So if that move doesn't work, okay, knight f6, the bishop just goes somewhere. Maybe c6 too. Like if the bishop is in c6, it restricts the knight, right? And we can just sit and wait to see improvement. The only way that black's gonna be able to try to outplay white here is with some tactical idea, or if white blunders, I think. But at this point, I don't see white blundering. He can just sit back and forth. Black is too passive. He's tried a bit, but maybe putting the pawns like this was not very much ideal. Because, you know, like, not so ideal. Okay, Mac is still thinking here, but do you guys like my idea with d6? I mean, at first it's true. I just say rook b1. I also liked f4. I mean, almost any move here, I think, is giving white some kind of edge. Because the king is wide open, and no castle, no pressure, no nothing. I don't see any progress, my friends. I know you might want it. You know, the sad situation here is like, let's just say this is played. I don't even think you can play here because I take. Yeah, that's a piece loss for you. So black is now stuck. Stuck from having the opportunity to... Oh, look at that, King H3. So stuck even from being able to bring his knight to a better location. I mean, I guess knight f6 is not, you know, that terrible, but... Wait, knight f6 takes check, king h8, rook g6. Is this a draw too? So I wanna check you perpetual check over here. You can't move the rook away because I take your knight. I don't think you can go there because I'm just coming right back. So how do you sub this? You can't go rook d7 because I just take. Knight d7? Knight d7. Oh, rook a5, what I'm talking about. And you don't have rook f5 because I just take it. You do have rook d5 though. You do have rook d5. I don't have time to take it. But I guess I can give check and take, and I should have sufficient material for the piece. Hey, if he's trying to get a draw, he might as well just get that. Okay, king g7. Instead of rook a5, what? Just rook h6? Yeah, I was just trying to trade another pair of rooks. Makes things easier, but sure, I guess you can do that. And take here, might be able to draw anyways. Yeah. Okay. So what's Black's plan? Just maybe trying to bring in the king. Oh, but my fear is okay, first of all, after king g7, was this not an option? Maybe knight f6. Okay, fine. So we're waiting for this king to get out, but now we don't have that move. Can we just maybe try to trade? I mean, maybe this is the only way for Black to try to progress, bringing in the king out. So now after this, he's gonna try... No, but there's rook e6. Maybe this. This is his only way, getting the king out. He's not gonna take the draw that fast. He's a higher rated player and he has more time, so it makes a lot of sense to try to play on. I just don't know how much more. Okay, so what have we had here? Rook b1, okay, very natural. Queen g5. What's the point of queen g5? Everything is protected. What's wrong if I take? Queen e5 maybe? Is he trying to get into this endgame? But I am not forced to take under any circumstance, you know? I can just move my queen anywhere. Just up a pawn. White went from being down 2 pawns to being up a pawn. That's something. That's And only move 19 and he's down to less than 5 minutes. That's not good, mister. That is not good. H4. H4. Okay, after 95, doesn't this attract a draw? Just asks for a draw. No, this was just Slav. It was a Slav. Okay, what piece do we want to stay with? Bishop or knight? I mean, takes, bishop back or something. Draw. I offer draw. 95 offers draw. Willingly or not, he's offering a draw, but I mean, there's no, these pawn structures are quite solid for black. Especially no light square bishop. Bishop being gone, it just makes things so much easier for black here. So much easier. Okay, so he checked and king f6. So now he wants knight 96 somewhere. I'm liking this position. To try to play for a win. I mean, it's much more comfortable to play for a win than to have to play for a draw, right? Like, who wouldn't pick this up? Everyone would want to try to play for that, but yeah. So this game, just to show you how it got there, right? So it was a Slav, and then bishop f5, and white traded that bishop, and then there was a plan to play e4, which he played, and I mean, black is just maintaining the pawn structure and just improving the pieces. Queen g6 was a nice move. I really liked it to trade queens because he was in some kind of a disadvantage there with the space. So any trades are in his favor, and now, after 95, he can choose however he wants to capture in e5, and then it's uphill or downhill or equal from there. There's not much to play for in this position anymore. I guess they're still playing potentially, but okay. Rook a4. Black can finally take this rook out, though. Like, if you take it out, I think we can just go back, because if you take, we take, and then the knight is hanging. Black has yet to decide how to capture here, but like I said, I mean, it's likely with the knight, and then just put the bishop in e7 to restrict the entrance of the king. Okay, so where do we move the queen in this position? I like this. Just keeping the pressure, actually keeping the pressure there too. Do you guys have any questions about anything? Any predictions? We already know the tournament has been won by Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman. He drew his game earlier today and is winning the event with 6.5 out of 9. Very, very well played. On second place, likely if all these games finish the way they should, it will be Max Talugi with 6 points. Sole second, or maybe he can be caught up by Grandmaster Andrew Tang potentially. No news here. I mean, I'd definitely go for this. So now I think check is very important, because if you take, I have the feeling, maybe there's no feeling. Maybe there's some stalemate. Threatening check and mate. Yeah, this should be a draw, my friends. This should be a draw, this rook endgame. Bishop c8. Yeah, but I feel for black. I mean, he's down a pawn now, and king is in the center. Rook in 8 is dead. There's not so much that black can play for at this point. No exit for the rook in e8. Even the one in e8 is not doing much. This has been a tough tournament for Grandmaster Rhodes. Okay, rook a4 hasn't invited any moves, and this one is still being played. Oh, there was a move here. Rook b1, okay, sure. Holding on to the pieces. We're threatening queen c6, by the way. Just a little threat, no big deal, you know? Only your queen is trapped. If he manages to draw that, yeah. I feel like he should feel good about the finish of the event for sure. Do we trade or do we go back? What do you guys think? Go back. I mean, certainly we can go back. We can also trade because I just don't. Ah, bishop d7. Okay. I was thinking take bishop b5. And if they move this and the rook is lost, but I guess he can go bishop d7. But even so, I mean, this doesn't this just lead to very like easy loss? Actually, if you calculate this through and you go through the line, I almost didn't calculate it, but I just want to prove a point that trading works, and I guess it does. I didn't realize I would be really right, but yeah. You don't have a way after bishop b5 to escape that. With the black king so weak, I like being able to play the dark squares. I know. Who would have thought? Someone needs to calculate? Please. Alright, we got one more draw. Which one was the draw? The players have accepted a draw in this position. Alright, so 2 games remaining, my friends. 2 games remaining. I mean, I know Mac is an aggressive attacking player, but this just seems like, no, what am I missing? Unless he wants to win more than, I mean, it's an exchange. Black can just play something and take the rook. But actually, this wins more than a rook. This wins a, sorry, this wins a rook. That one wins an exchange. But bishop c6 does win a rook. Okay, if we go back, we can go back to d4, and then we basically have the same idea. This is the same one. So I guess it's up to him what he does. Rook c1. Bishop e4, right? Actually, wait a second. Can I go rook f4 check? You have to go knight f5. I can finally take it. Right? Doesn't this lead to a draw? I think it does. Because he got stuck with the king there. If you go there, like, I can just do perpetual. So knight f5 is the only way to avoid perpetual. And now, how do we take to have some chances to win? With the g-pawn, I presume, right? Okay, I guess we have... this, but then there's check and check. So no. G pawn. Okay, takes. And now this should be a draw. I don't know how simple it is, but it should be a draw. He needs to make sure he doesn't look G2. Rook D2 is forced. He can also go Rook D4 to go Rook D2. I don't think Rook D2 is forced. If you're planning to put pressure on G2. Uh-oh, went for it, my friends. Went for it. I mean, this is the easiest, you know, it's the easiest way to... I mean, yes, you can give up just the exchange, but I don't even know with which move, because there's also Rook C1, Rook C7. I mean, this is game over. No, but seriously, Rook F4. Come on, John, you got this. You can find it. So this. I mean, it's gonna be hard to advance this with black, because where do you hide with the king? Anytime you try e5, there'll be Rook d6 check. Okay, I think it happened. It's going. They're going for the line. Okay, so let's see what John plays here. They went for it. It was all forcing, otherwise black just has to go back and forth and review, like get a draw. Get the perpetual. Okay, I guess he played your move, Jake. Rook d2. I wanted Rook d4, but okay. Fine. I guess here he can play e5. It's just... it makes it a bit scary. You go somewhere f4 check and then king f5. Okay, he progresses a bit. A bit more than I would presume that he would. Alright. There's no moves on this board. You like my move better because you don't want to calculate d5? You mean e5, yeah. But now we have to calculate e5. I mean, I think that's the most, the scariest thing. I guess not. You didn't think so. Oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to hold on to e5 and do it later. Like, he's trying to bring the rooks on the back rank. So whenever he goes e5, f4, chase the king away, and then, you know, give some checks to win the... Yeah, no worries, Jake. All good, yeah. I've been cooking something too. Hopefully, you know, once the stream is over, it will not be overcooked. Hopefully it won't be overcooked. I think we haven't seen a move here in a while, yeah. It's possible that Grandmaster Road is deciding to resign there. Okay, Rook b4. So no e5 is gonna happen anytime soon. Okay, so what was the point of Rook a to go Rook a1, right? I mean, what else? What else? So rook a1, maybe he can try to change to trade a pair of rooks and try to still go e5, f4. It's not so easy. Maybe he can try rook a6 and still e5, f4. Takes a while, but who knows? Maybe he can try it. Do you guys think that he's gonna have any chances to win this, or we're gonna see a draw? What is the chat thinking? (20-30 chance of winning? Yeah, it's very little. Unless Grandmaster John Fedorovich messes up. I think Mac has won. Not just the time there that shows 0-0, but also like there wasn't a move in a while, so I believe he has won that game. So that would have made a very tough tournament for Grandmaster because he, in this specific game, it didn't even seem like he was fighting much. Like, I think it was just a very difficult, very difficult for him. Okay, rook h1. But the thing is, like, even if the rook is here keeping pressure, in order to do that, you're gonna be checked. So you need to go rook a6 if you want to play e5, I think. Right? Do you guys agree? Rook c4. How is he planning to improve here? Yeah, Mac has won. Official result is up. It was a tough day for in tournament for Grandmaster Road, but I hope he doesn't give up. He's shown still a lot of great play and great ideas, and I hope he will come back from that. Now here after rook c4 is just so hard for me to imagine a pro. Okay, I saw. So something. Like king e7, f6. If no, it's too slow. I mean, there's no way. Okay, yeah. I mean, he was trying to play e5. I mean, he can still play it, but this is what he's gonna meet. King back somewhere so that there's no check, and then this check, and here, and now he can come back with a king. But the problem is, even if you get this position, and let's just say you get the chance to win this pawn, even such, you can't actually take it because king g1 is trapping the rook. So I mean, that pawn is actually protected. There's no real progress. There's no actual progress here. At least I don't see any. And maybe you guys maybe see something. Feel free to share it in the chat. I don't see any progress here. Okay, he can hope for this to go here and then take, but even that's not gonna do anything. And this move 49, so both black and white will be added 30 minutes later, like once the time runs out. As you guys probably remember from other streams, the time goes down to 0 before the additional time is added, and the time is added once the next move is being made. So that's something important to remember. Okay, he can just go rook c1, right? That way a pair of rooks will be traded without any counter chances, nothing. No counter chances here. No, he played king f2. Okay, fine. He's asking black to come up with a way to improve. I mean, this is the only way to improve. Which will probably allow rook c6. I'm not seeing anything, my friends. Okay, rook d1. No cause for alarm. Just move the rook somewhere. Any rook anywhere. Just don't drop it. But other than that, I think we're pretty set. Wait, g3, rook h2. Sure, this would be funny. Yeah, it would be. It's not gonna happen. Come on. It not happening today. Something else that would be funny is like this mate. Here's another funny mate. You know, if you want mates, you can find different places to mate. To checkmate white's king, but nah, not happening. Um, I know he's trying. He's trying to. Is he losing rating at this point? He's losing 2 points. Okay, that's not too bad. He might lose actually another 2 or something, maybe 3. With this game, so altogether 5 points. If he draws this game, and then John is losing 8. Okay. So maybe with this draw, John will be losing less. Should be a draw here, my friends. Should be a draw. The thing is, what's the best approach in this position? So let's take it this way. So obviously, you know, both players are going to get 30 minutes eventually. Do you think about trying to progress, or just play fast and try to annoy your opponent so that he makes a mistake? What is the best approach here? Do you just accept a draw? And just say, okay, draw. Offer draw. I admit I had my chances. Wasn't able to improve that rook knight versus rook's bishop endgame. You got that bishop d5 brilliant that I missed. Okay, I admit to draw. It's also kind of would be interesting to know. That's why, like I'm saying, like in a way, I feel bad that I'm not there to interview the players, because like I would like to know how John feels after this game. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but how would he feel that how does he feel that considering his opponent is playing out this position? He probably is chill with it. He's a very cool guy, Fed. So he's probably chill. He understands. Andrew has to play on further because, you know, he's got an extra pawn, but yeah. Rook d6 to push e5. Yeah, this is what he's trying to get, to push e5, f4. Or f5, e4, that would be nice. If he would go f5, e4, and then that, maybe he could have some chances, but that's never gonna happen. Like, right, we can just, anytime you push e5, we can just trade. And so, like, if this happens, right, we already discussed this. Let's say here, I think we can just go back, and we already have discussed, if you do something like this, the rook will be stuck in h4, so you definitely don't want that. John is kind of old as a chess player. He might lose focus. Maybe he will lose focus. Yeah, that's true. He's an older sir. Not that old. I think he's in his mid-60s. Actually, I don't know exactly how old he is, but we can check. Or what was my thing? You know, John and Doyle, which no. I forgot what my command was to figure out. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. He was born in 58. So he is 67 years old. So wait a second, did this help? That White didn't trade the pair of rooks? Maybe you guys are right, maybe he might get tired and make a mistake. I don't like that he didn't trade the rook. Yeah, of course you have to try to. I mean, yeah, of course you have to try to keep playing this, but wait a second. Wait a second. I mean, I was joking earlier, but listen. I was joking earlier, but hey, this is a thing. Wait, guys. Wait, now he can take and go back and he won a pawn. How did this happen? Like literally I was typing two things. Why didn't he try to just trade this rook? Oh, here he can't probably because he loses that pawn. Okay, fine. Rook d5. Okay, trade this one. Just trade the rook. Makes things much easier, I think. I'm not liking this. And by the way, don't you dare to do that because check, and GG. Uh-oh. Maybe Andrew has been able to trick him. No way! No, I was just saying no! No! Oh my god, no. Oh, John. No, he got tired. He got tired. Commentator's curse. You can definitely clip that. That's just, that was, oh man. That was definitely commentator's curse. I'm sorry, John. I got no words. I apologize. My fans, chat, people, John, I'm sorry. I mean, he's gonna resign now. I mean, I don't think he will play it out. He will be mad, for sure. He will be mad, but... Oh my god, this actually happened? No. I mean... GG, I think, yeah. 1-0. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm sorry. I did not... I thought he was gonna be able... He fought so well. Like, he found the brilliant move, John. Like, you know, when I thought Andrew was on his way to win somewhere here, if you remember, like... I thought Andrew was coming with this cool idea to bring the knight to f5, and then I was thinking this, but I thought, you know, with the knight and the rook it could help. But like, come on, bishop d5, such a brilliant move found, because you can't take, and this is a different kind of trade, because like, you know, now I don't know, I guess it was maybe about the same thing, I don't know, but yeah. No, if you clipped it, it's there. You just couldn't share it with me. You have to share me a private message if you clipped it. Thanks for that. Rook d3, right? And I thought this was gonna be a draw. I mean, so well played, you know, fought, but he must have been tired. I mean, it's been a long tournament, and I don't know how many I mean, I know he played, actually. There are a few tournaments John Fedorovich plays, like the US Senior Championship, the US Open. I know he's always playing in the US Open very a lot, and of course the invitationals, like the Irwin. I think he's played this year and in the US Open. So this has been a heartbreaking move to see being played here. I'm sorry to have to end the stream like this, in a way, you know, but it's chess, my friends. It is chess, and we have to be ready for everything. And I don't know sometimes why specific things have to happen a certain way, what lessons they teach us. Maybe the lessons we're going through are supposed to be lessons that other people are going through, are gonna learn from, because they need the lesson, and they learn better if they see someone else falling for it. I don't have the answers, but I certainly hope you've enjoyed my commentary over the past 5 days. It's been a pleasure being here, celebrating 140 years of New Jersey State Chess Federation. I hope it's been a thrill being here. So this event took places in the Masonic Lodge in Morristown in New Jersey. It was organized by Mr. Anand Mishra and Mr. Aaron Kiedes. Big thank you to them. Chief TD was Mr. Edward Stephen Doyle, who actually was the president of the US Chess Federation for 3 years in the mid 80s, I think 84 till 87 or something like that, and he was the youngest person to be president. And also, of course, he was the he was the president of the US Chess Hall of Fame, like when it moved from Miami, I think, to St. Louis, and he's part of the US Chess Trust. So it's just kind of cool to know that about him, and that he was a part of this event. And everyone else who's helped with the DGTs, thank you. I wouldn't be able to be here. The chat and I think we've been nervous at times when, you know, King F1 was played, or King F8 instead of castle, or something fun like that. Or queens were traded wrong, but then, you know, it's been helpful to be able to know that they're there. Thanks for the other tournament directors, Nick and Alessandro for the DGTs, and of course all the players. I hope it was an exciting tournament for them. I hope I haven't said anything upsetting to anyone, for anyone who might go back and watch the streams. If I did, I apologize. It was not my intention. When I do commentary, it's always about the chess, and sometimes I feel emotions same as the players, but you know how it is. We might have slight favorites, okay? We might have slight favorites if we know some people, but otherwise, you know, it's not. We don't. I try to be as neutral as possible, but you know, like in this case, I know both players, of course, and it's just tough. Let's congratulate the winners. Let's see if Lichess has updated the standings. Actually, maybe I can go back and actually show it as a final congratulatory Oh yeah, you guys can see it. You don't see the number of points, but I will read them for you. So the winner of the tournament, Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman, with 6 points and a half. Definitely great performance for him. Didn't lose any game, had some great wins. Against Mark Paragua, that Bishop Endgame is certainly something to look for. If you haven't caught up with the tournament, you can still do so in the link pinned to the channel. Against John, it was also a nice one. And earlier this morning against Alexander Struponski, it was a game from another planet in a way. Like, it just seemed he's so dominant. Andrew has made it. I don't know how, but he has made it. Oh, maybe he's not even losing any rating. He's back on 0 according to Lichess, so that's pretty good. Maybe he was trying really hard to win this one. Congratulations to the second and third place finishers, Grandmaster Andrew Tang and Grandmaster Max Delugi. Both of them have had great tournaments. It was impressive to see Max actually starting with 3 out of 3. I did not expect that, but his play at the beginning was really inspiring. Fourth place goes to Grandmaster Durabek Kamrakulov. Congrats to him as well. A good performance. Oliver Barbosa was the first player from this field, I think, to actually subscribe to my channel. So I don't know if he's watching, if he will be watching. Thanks for that, appreciate it. Been rooting for you this morning. It was a brilliant game against Andrew Tang. And again, no offense, Andrew, but that game was so nice with dominating light squares. But it ended in a draw. Grandmaster Strupunski has had some great games. Mac also, 1 or 2 games that I really like specifically those 2 wins, of course, against Strupunski. That was a nice one, nice finish, and then this last one. Mark also had a nice win against Mac around 2. John and Michael, I hope they are ready for the next tournament. Just because one didn't turn good, you know, it doesn't mean it has to end. You know, great career. Very impressed with the fighting spirit and not giving up, and it's certainly been a pleasure. And yeah. Again, excited to have been able to do this with you guys. I will be back very soon with my streams, but until then, I want to wish you all a great rest of the weekend. Few more hours of Sunday. Enjoy. I will try to rest my voice a bit. It's been a tough few days with very long rounds, so I'll take advantage of this one being a bit shorter. So, signing off right now, but I hope you're all doing well, and